Hey, what's up, guys? It's another training video. So, the issue with the start of this training block was the fact that my back was starting to get very irritated with, for example, 315 squat. So, I had to really scale it back and start with 225 and then, just work very slowly on my way back up to 315. So, luckily, at the end of the training block or this time frame, I was able to do 315 for sets of four, so that's a very positive sign. But I've noticed that if I do rush the squat too much, it really starts irritating my lower back. It's kind of like a general soreness and tightness in the lower back, so again, it's not ideal. So I'm learning more so now to be patient and to build the volume slowly in the squat. So again, it's always a work in progress, but again, coming back from the long layoff of not having competition for, well, now it's over, or pretty much a year. So again, my body isn't really accustomed to the training, but again, I am trying to ramp up the frequency and the volume in a more thorough and more slow way. But another positive thing about this training block was the fact that I am going back to the mixed grip for the deadlift. So again, been able to comfortably do 455 for at least a single, and then go back to straps because again, my calluses on especially my left middle finger is very kind of sensitive and it tears quite often. So again, once the callus tears, then I can't do anything about it, and then I have to switch back to straps. But you see here in this clip in particular, just doing 225 for reps. I believe this is maybe around 10 reps, and again, it was something that I had to really be careful about because if I keep injuring my back, then it's going to be a huge issue, right? So I can't do any type of heavy squats. I can't do any volume with squats. So again, it has to be very, it has to be managed very carefully. But as normal for bench, just putzing around with 220, 225, and trying to do some backup volume in the range of 190 to 195. Then again, I have to start practicing back in the shirt and all that. So again, it's something that I have to also manage. I have to, at least at minimum, try to do some squats, or sorry, try to do some wrap squats, and also do some shirted bench. So that has to start in the time frame of around, I want to say, late March. So I'll have April, May, and June. So that's a solid 10 weeks for practicing the equipment. But we did get news that nationals is happening in June, so I have to sign up for that by February 1st. And again, it's like a tiered invite system. So you have the first tier. It has top five placement in the national 2019. Obviously, there's no nationals in 2020. So those people who did or were able to place in the top five in the 2019 nationals, they are able to get first dibs. So that's the first tier, and then the second tier is for the hometown showdown. It's kind of like an aggregate ranking system for 2020. So those people are next, and then third is kind of a free for all. So, given the fact that there's only 56 spots available for nationals for each kind of division, luckily Equipped is going on Saturdays. So again, don't have to take time off during the week. Just travel on Friday and then do my thing on Saturday. Granted, I'm healthy for it, and again, I'm just crossing my fingers everything goes well. But again, I'm having some hopes. Actively doing stretching and rehab with everything. So hopefully it works out. And again, I will have to diet extensively at least 10 to 14 days just to make sure that my body weight's okay leading up to the competition. But again, we'll see what happens, but I'm glad that we have some finality with the nationals date. I believe the actual date I'm competing is June 19th, something like that. So still some, good amount of time before, I actually do end up at the competition. But again, it has to be something that's very gradually built over time. And again, the most important part is to avoid injury. So avoiding injury is the number one thing. And you see here in this clip, just going back to the other gym, I'm still paying for it, so I have to pay until around June, July, because I signed up for this gym. And again, I'm not too much of a fan of this gym, but again, it's good because it is 24 hours and I can go there anytime I want. But usually I don't use it. And again, there also is other news. I did retire back in July of 2020, but I figured because of the illness and whatever's going on, that I can't travel extensively for 2020. And I did get a job offer, and again, it did offer 10 weeks off. So I decided to take it, and I'm actually starting that on February 1st, and we'll see how it goes. But again, I do have the complete option of not working at all. So again, I'm going to be pretty much investing 100% of my salary on top of my automated income. So again, that's pretty good. And again, I think it'll be different from the past because I have the flexibility to leave if I want to. So I think that's really comforting. But it is nice to invest 100% of my salary. And again, I'm still going to be using my strategy of using my quarterly distributions for living expenses, and then of course setting aside the rest for investments. So continually invest, but I think in the meantime, having a day job, again, amidst the illness, again, I don't think it's going to be resolved for the majority of the year. Then again, I'll just see how it is. But again, I do have the flexibility to leave anytime I want. So again, it's nice to have regular income come in and invest all of it. So it is quite comforting. So that's that. And we'll see how my back responds to rap squatting. I think I have to start it relatively soon. I mean, we're already at the end of January, so I would have to technically start it hopefully near the end of February. I may start sooner just to see how my back reacts, and just have to be super, super careful because if I'm handling 365, 405, 425, then I have to make sure my back's ready. So I have to do it very slowly and again, keep the volume somewhat low and then just build it gradually. And again, I have no idea how my back's going to react to 365, 405, but I noticed that my mistake for the last meet was I was training exclusively in the knee wraps and the squat, or the bottom of the squat suit, and I just got crushed at the meet. So I need to definitely build up that raw strength, both with knee sleeves and the knee wraps. So I'm not going to repeat that mistake again, and I may even have to train in the squat suit because I haven't been in it so long. Haven't been in it. Well, I mean, if I count towards meet, 1.5 years, so I may have to get on a looser suit and just see how it goes with training, and how my body's going to react to having 500 plus on my back. So we'll see how that goes, but it's something that I have to consider in the May timeframe or possibly early June. And of course, I'll have to go to a powerlifting gym for that. So, we'll see what happens. But again, I think this does give me direction for training. Obviously, to have a meet to prepare for is quite huge. It just gives some finality and it gives a definite deadline as far as how I have to prep for training. And who knows, if I'm in really good shape, then I'll probably be in good position to get some PRs, but again, that's not guaranteed. And we'll see how it goes. But I do honestly miss training. I mean, well, not training, but getting that feeling of PR at a competition. There's nothing quite like it. So I need to justify all the training and suffering I'm going through. So that's why well, for me, that's the purpose of the competition. So I think for every lifter, you know, actually going to the competition and reaping the fruits of your labor is a huge process and quite a rewarding process, assuming you get your PRs on the platform. So, we'll see what happens. And again, I do appreciate that I do have new direction as far as training goes. But yeah, I mean, it's been tough. If you do constantly get injured, especially lower back, it kind of affects everything. Obviously, it's going to affect your squats because of all that pressure on your back. It's going to affect your deadlifts, especially while you're pulling or starting to pull, and even affects your bench arch. So, again, that's, it's just kind of debilitating. So, if you have like a shoulder injury, then you can still kind of, you can definitely should be able to squat and deadlift, but if you have that back injury, it just kind of debilitates you and just prevents you from doing 3 lifts properly. So, we'll see what happens. And again, getting back to the routine and, going back to work, I mean, it is 100% telecommute. So again, it's not going to affect me too much. And, we'll see how I manage the stress. But, ironically, my best meets were from working long hours and training after work. So we'll see what happens. And again, I'm looking for the challenge, and I'm looking forward to, of course, investing as much as I can. I did pass like a very significant milestone, with net worth and all that. So really happy with what's going on, and happy that I'm able to invest constantly. So that is a huge thing. Obviously, powerlifters have a very limited time frame as far as how competitive they can be. And granted, if you take care of your body, you can do it through the mid 40s. But definitely you want to set up your life outside of powerlifting, and just realize that powerlifting at a very competitive level is very finite time frame, and that you shouldn't rely, or you shouldn't base your entire identity on being a powerlifter, because it's going to end someday. Granted, you can lift, until a very old age, but you're not going to be touching those all-time PRs in your old age. So just appreciate while you have it, and relatively young still, and you're still able to get PRs. But definitely set up your life outside of the fact, and make sure your finances are in order. So don't approach a hobby, or don't pursue a hobby that is going to ruin your finances, and it won't give, and the fact that it will prevent you from pursuing other goals, or having the ability not to work, or things like that. So don't let it be a detriment to your financial life. And again, it's just a hobby. So if something's a hobby, then you're dedicating probably 10 to 20 hours a week on it. And again, that's all it should be. So it should give you some fulfillment outside of your job, outside of your how you obtain your income or whatever else. But we'll see. Oh, and by the way, you see there, I pulled on the wood section of the platform. I had a very elaborate, or kind of a big rant on Instagram, but basically you have a new manager here that was giving me grief about pulling on the floor, and of course I told her off. But we'll see what happens. Again, I'm not gonna be surprised if I get kicked out of this gym, and again, I do have other options. I can go to a very legitimate powerlifting gym that's in Ashburn. Obviously, you guys may know, if you're from the DMV area, that is the shop gym. But yeah, basically, just to recap, what happened was, she wasn't very happy that I was pulling deadlifts from the floor. She claimed that, the floor will be damaged. Again, I've heard these arguments over and over and over. And again, she approached me 2 times, and the first time it was like whatever, and I just kind of brushed her off. And the second time, you said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave." And then, I said, you have to show me how to lower this quietly. I expressed that the platforms are dangerous. Obviously, the rubber sections of the platform, they're very soft and uneven, and again, it will be more dangerous for me to pull on that and possibly hurt myself as opposed to pulling from the floor. So I explained that, and again, I had to pull the card. Hey, I'm a multimillionaire, and I can sue you for harassment because she was harassing me. Then she backtracks, oh, I'm not harassing you, blah, blah, blah. And then, she didn't have any retort after that. So, again, I'm just trying to get my lifts in, and, I'm not trying to cause trouble at all. I try not to talk to anyone at the gym, focusing on my training. But, if you have, someone that doesn't know what the hell they're talking about, and I asked her if she was newly hired, and of course she's newly hired. And again, these people don't have any life experience, and again, they are in trouble financially, and again, they just have no idea what the hell is going on. They don't know how to train. They're not strong. They're not financially sound or educated. So you don't have to listen to these people, especially if you don't view them with any type of respect, or if they're not deserving of any type of respect. So just keep that in mind. If you are a very accomplished person, or you've achieved a lot, and again, if you're asked to do something that's not reasonable from someone that you don't respect and has not achieved a lot, then again, my feeling is that they're not deserving of your respect, because respect is earned, not given. So that's really, really important. But anyways, thanks guys for listening to my rambling. And again, if you guys found my little rants unreasonable, then whatever. But that's how it is. So anyways, thanks guys for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.